Yeah, hello guys, welcome to our new HTML tutorial. And previously I told you I will bring a new video about the HTML link. That means how to use hyperlinks in the HTML. But before going to the link part, I would like to tell you something about CSS. Okay, that is called Cascaded Style Sheets. Okay, this is the full form of CSS. Okay, and this is a kind of a style sheet, okay, which is used to format the layout of a web page. Okay, and we already know about an HTML element, that is style. We used it as an attribute, but I want to let you know that is actually not an attribute, it's a property of CSS. Okay, when you want to use CSS, then you need to use that attribute, the style. Okay, so I will let you know how to use that style in different kind of CSS. First of all, I would like to tell you that I will show you everything about the CSS with the live demo. Okay, and you can get the code of everything in this video with the link in the description. Okay, just like as always. Okay, so it stands for Cascaded Style Sheets. There are three kind of cascaded style sheets. Okay, and as you already know, with the help of style attribute, we used to change the color, font family, size of the text, and many things. And except it, you can do also some more thing, like you can specify the spacing between the elements, and how elements are actually positioned, their inclination. Okay, and what are the background images and background colors you are going to use. Okay, so now we will just go ahead and check the kind of CSS which we have. Okay, there are three kind of CSS. The first one is inline. We already used it when we was using the style attribute anywhere. Then we was actually using the inline CSS. Okay, and internal in internal CSS we used that style tag within the head. Okay, and within the head we use style as a tag. Okay, and in that tag we can define everything. Okay, like if we want to define the the color or the text size of a paragraph, then we just need to just specify that. Or we want to define the attribute of another thing element, like heading 1 or heading 2, then we can just specify that within that internal sheet. Okay, and the third one is external CSS. Here we use a external file. We create a CSS file and we can link it to any HTML page. Means whatever is defined in that external CSS, we can just include that thing within our web page. Okay, with a small code. Okay, I will let you know how to do that. Okay, now we will just go ahead and check the first one, the inline one. We already used that. You know, h1 style is equal to color and then put the blue, like that. Okay, we can just go ahead and check it. Okay, we will do it fast. Okay, just wait a minute. So I already told you that can be used within the body. This is the inline CSS and we already used it. I just saved it. Okay, now this is the HTML page for that. Okay, here we have. Okay, we use that inline CSS here in the code. With the style tag we define the color of the text. Like that we can define the color of that background. Let's see, background dash color. Okay, here we have the background color as blue. Like that we can use all kind of properties of style to alter or format our text. Okay, now I will move forward to the internal CSS. We haven't used it yet, okay? And as we already discussed, we need to define the style sheet within the head of the HTML page, okay? And this internal CSS will work within a page, okay? Like here we have a code, okay? We just need to put that code in between the head, okay? Now let me just use that code within the head, okay? If we will define this code within the head, then how we will define it? First of all, we need to open and close the style as a tag, okay? In the head it will be used as a tag. Now we need you to use that curly bracket, okay? And within the curly bracket we just need to define the style properties as we had done earlier in the inline one, right? The property like background dash color, colon, and the name of the color, and after that semicolon, and then we need to close that curly bracket. Like that, in each line we can define an element, okay? Like here we defined that the body background color will be powder blue, okay, for the whole page. Now whenever we will use the H1, the color of that heading will be blue, okay? Like that, the paragraph color will be red, okay? The paragraph color text will be red. So here we can use it, okay? Now the head is closed, the body is open, and we use three things. So here we will use just H1, okay? First of all, H1, I am a heading, and close the H1, and then as everything is coming under the body, then we don't need to write anything specific about the body, okay? So here we have another tag which was defined in the internal CSS, that is paragraph. So we will use this paragraph tag here, okay? Okay, here we just closed it, that's it, okay? So now we use just this style tag within the head. So that is the use of internal CSS, not inline CSS. We used inline CSS. If you want to use the inline CSS, you can just define the style within the element, okay? And if you want to use the internal CSS, you need to define the whole page style within the head section, within the style tag, okay? Like this, okay? So here we have it. We just need to save it again, okay? Now we will just see the result, okay? Here we have the whole page background is now powder blue. You can see that the whole page, and the heading is now blue, and the text in the para is red, as we define in the style sheet, the internal style sheet. Now the third thing is external CSS, okay? And this is also an starting of the CSS, which you are gonna read just after the HTML tutorial. It will come after a little while, but it is very important part. Like if you want to create a web page, then you can define its properties, okay? Like how you want its layout, you can just define it completely, like how much you want for how much size you want for the heading 1, how much you want for the heading 2, or which background color you want for your HTML page. Like this, all of this you can define with a single CSS sheet for your complete web page or complete website. Like that a lot of developers do, okay? This is the developers way of making a web page, okay? Now moving forward to the external CSS, that is very important, and we haven't read it before any time. So first of all, in between the head we need to include that style sheet. Means if we are going to create a HTML page, then how it will know that some external CSS is linked to it? Then what we need to do, we within the head section we need to use this one, okay? rel here attribute in the link is just giving you that it's a style sheet. That means it's a CSS style sheet. Okay, and href is equal to, just like in a, which we used earlier to include a hyperlink, the a tag, just like that link tag link tag is also having the same property, href. Okay, is equal to, within the commas you need to specify the file name, and this file must be inside the same folder where your HTML is saved. Okay, so here we just specified the name of the style sheet. So what we will do the same thing to our HTML code. Okay, here we have the HTML code. Okay, last time we used that head and we used that style tag for the internal CSS, but here what we will do, we will use that code, okay, this one, and we will replace it with the last internal CSS thing. Now it is okay. So we now just use this styles.css file. Okay, we just included that. Okay, now I'm just going to save it. Okay, now it is saved, and here is the style.css which we are going to create. Okay, that will be styles.css as mentioned. Now we just need to use the same method which we used in the internal CSS. Okay, like first of all we need to name the element which we want to alter or format. Okay, like the body, and then within the curly bracket we need to just define the property which we want to change or which we want to add. Okay, like background color will be blue for the body here. Okay, for the h1 it will be blue color, and let me make it red, otherwise they will be the same. Make it white will be good. Okay, and the paragraph color will be red, that means the text in the paragraph will be red. Okay, so it is the style sheet, and we just saved it here with the name of styles.css. Let me make it white here also. Okay, so it's done. Okay, and one more thing, like the internal CSS format is like this, but you need to give another space here. Okay, and now just save this file with the name of styles.css in the same folder where your HTML file is. Okay, now it is saved. Now it is already included in our HTML page. Okay, as we change the code, now we will just go ahead. Okay, now you can see that style sheet is working, because the last time the color of the background of the body was powder blue, now it's completely blue, and the first h1 heading is in now white, and the paragraph is in red. Okay, so that means that our external CSS is working now. Okay, so that's about the kind of CSS which we have, and a brief about the CSS. Okay, the cascaded style sheets, and it is going to be more useful when we will explore in the HTML and the CSS. Okay, and soon I am just going to come with the video of HTML links, and then we will just explore more about images. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and like the video to see such videos. Have a great day. Bye bye.